From the city of Basel comes the world's biggest and best watch show, Baselworld. Every year, the big hitters, Rolex, Omega, Patek Philippe and many, many more, come together to show off their latest releases, and 2018 is no exception. Here are 5 of our favourites from this year's show. It's been 4 years since Rolex managed to simultaneously excite and disappoint with the long-awaited ceramic, red and blue Pepsi bezel GMT Master 2. The GMT Master 2 had debuted Rolex's move to ceramic way back in 2005, and the Pepsi release had been hotly anticipated ever since. Now, 13 years later, Rolex has finally given in and announced a Pepsi GMT Master 2 in steel, the 126710 BLRO. As if to distract from the cruel, torturous wait endured for so long, Rolex has thrown in a few extra tidbits to sweeten the deal. The first you can't see because it's hidden under the caseback: the new caliber 3285. It gets the skeletonized chronology escapement, lightened for efficiency, aiding a boost in power reserve to 70 hours from the previous 3186's 48 hours. The second extra is very much on show, used by Rolex to tease the release, and it's the welcome return of the Jubilee bracelet in the GMT Master collection, also in steel. Well, I say steel, but it seems that Rolex has dropped the 904L naming convention for a new, very Rolex buzzword: oyster steel. The next one's an interesting one and throws up some questions regarding the corporate relationship between Rolex and its junior brand, Tudor. Given that it's taken 13 years for the oyster steel, Rolex GMT Master 2 Pepsi to materialise, it's surprising that it's the exact same year that Tudor announces a GMT version of its ever-popular Black Bay, also in red and blue. At roughly half the price of the GMT Master 2, and with its own in-house caliber MT6552, also with 70 hours of power reserve, the Tudor Black Bay GMT 79830RB actually fills in a niche the GMT Master 2 has left behind, with its ever-increasing price point. On the face of it, it looks like the two brands are treading on each other's toes, but actually it makes a lot of sense. After all, the Tudor customers of today could well be Rolex's customers of tomorrow. And Tudor has, in line with the rest of the Heritage collection, had a bit of fun with the design. There are no crown guards, there's a riveted bracelet, an aluminium bezel, and there's snowflake tip hands, including, and this will be the source of some controversy no doubt, the GMT hand. No, the video isn't broken. We are still talking about Tudor, because hidden in the shadow of the surprise GMT release, from both Rolex and Tudor, comes a sneaky addition to Tudor's Black Bay collection that may have otherwise gone unnoticed. Many of you may have watched the last segment and thought, that's all very well and good, but the Black Bay is 41mm in diameter and nearly 15mm thick. It's too big! And that's something that's put a lot of people off the Black Bay in the past. Well, here's the answer. The Black Bay 58, a 39mm version of the classic Black Bay. Currently only available in steel with black and gold details, it's a promising start for those who want something closer in size to the vintage watches the Heritage design apes. The best news? The thickness is down too, the in-house caliber MT5402 allowing 11.9mm. Ever looked at the current Omega Seamaster Professional and wished it had the wavy pattern from the old model? The shiny dial, while nice, is fairly plain, lacking the dynamism of the original Professional. Oh, and have you ever also wished Omega would do the decent thing and put an in-house caliber in it? The brand has plenty of them, after all. Well, for this year's Baselworld, Omega has made both those wishes come true with the new Professional Diver 300M, its gloss-finished ceramic dial etched with that familiar wave design across a selection of different colours, like black, blue and grey. As for the movement, To actually fit the in-house caliber 8800, a chronometer-certified coaxial ticker with a 55-hour power reserve, in the Seamaster's already ample case, Omega has had to up the diameter a millimetre to 42 millimetres. Hopefully a worthwhile compromise, considering the style of the watch. Can you believe that Patek Philippe has never put a perpetual calendar in a Nautilus before? Well, it hasn't, until now. It's the caliber 240Q they've slipped between the pinned-eared case, a micro-rotor-powered masterpiece that is so efficiently executed that it somehow manages to make the Nautilus the thinnest watch of the 5 here, by some margin at 8.32mm. The white gold 40mm case gets a bright blue dial to display the time, including a 24-hour indicator, day, date, month, leap year and moon phase, all while still knocking out up to 48 hours of power reserve as it beats at 21,600 VPH. It's even water resistant to 60 meters. Availability? Unlikely. There are many exciting watches to debut this year that didn't make the list, including Longines military watch, the Bulgari Octo Finissimo Tourbillon, and Omega's Seamaster 1948 pairing, and that's indicative of the fascinating direction many of our favourite brands are moving in. If the themes for previous years have been things like ceramic bezels, all black watches, or faux vintage reissues, this year's theme feels very much like it's based around feedback, comments and suggestions that have at last been listened to. Hopefully, it's not just a passing trend. Discover more exceptional watches at watchfinder.co.uk. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe. If there are any other watches you'd like to see reviewed, please let us know in the comments below.